November 2024, I began something I'll never forget. Road to $1 million out of my mum's garage. No fancy setup, no city apartment, just a cold wooden floor, a messy desk, and charts on a screen that didn't care how badly I wanted it to work. I wasn't pretending to live a lavish lifestyle. I wasn't hiring cars for Instagram. I wanted to show the realism of being a full-time trader whilst working out of your mum's garage, whilst trying to achieve greatness. I decided to do something that at the time felt borderline delusional. I took on a challenge to pass $1 million in prop fund funding in 30 days. Not quietly, not behind the scenes, but publicly, documenting everything I did. Every trade, every mistake, every drawdown. I told my community what I was aiming for, and then I hit my own record. Now, I didn't wake up one day suddenly confident I could do this. In fact, it was the opposite. I'd failed before, multiple times. I'd even just come back from Thailand where I felt like I was trading poorly. And frankly, I knew prop firm trading has a way of exposing every weakness you don't want to admit you have. But I also knew something else. If I was ever going to break this cycle, I couldn't hide anymore. Part of my approach that has enabled me to pass so much in funded capital is funded approach, is psychology, is discipline, and ultimately, people look at this and laugh, as if it's overplayed, all hype and all cliche. But if you think you can succeed in a rule-based environment like prop firms while ignoring your own behavior, you're lying to yourself. The markets don't care how smart you are, they care how consistent you are under pressure and your understanding of the game. For years, whilst I was unprofitable, I kept asking myself the same questions. Why can't I hold winners? Why do I break rules when things get uncomfortable? Why does one bad trade spiral into 5? And eventually it clicked. If you don't have the right foundations, it doesn't matter how much screen time you put in. The result will always be the same. So I stripped everything back. I focused on processes over outcomes, rules over emotion, execution over excitement. No chasing, no revenge trading, no pretending I was better than I was, and I used that aggression in a specific way with a funded approach. I wasn't pretending to be something I wasn't. I wasn't pretending to be better than I was. I was showing up day after day in the same dirty garage, trying to do things properly. Once the challenge started, my life became incredibly simple. Wake up, mark up charts, wait, trade live, and journal everything. That was it. No distractions, no drama, no pretending it was glamorous. Some days were boring, some days were painful, some days I questioned why I'd even started. Now the hardest part wasn't the losses, it was knowing people were watching, judging me, watching me fail, watching me get close, watching me mess up trades I knew better than to take. But instead of hiding it, I leaned into it, because for once, I wasn't just trading for myself. I was showing what this actually looks like and that I deserved the outcome. Now, as the weeks went on, something unexpected happened. It wasn't just me passing accounts, the community started passing even more than they ever did before. People trading alongside me began sharing their results, funding milestones, first payouts, millions in combined funding, not from hype, but from structure and accountability. Now, they weren't just copying my trades, following signals, but they were seeing an actively funded trader who has made trading a full-time income and completely changed his life from the skill set, trade live and show the emotional battles that he's also going through. It made them realize that certain emotions won't ever go away, but things can be controlled and approached correctly. This is a style of learning that almost every trader across the planet does not do, as this wasn't from hype, but from structure, and most importantly, accountability. Now, I didn't even complete the challenge. I didn't hit the full $1 million, and I won't sit here and spin that into some fake motivational win. I failed the original goal. But to win, you must fail, and my community now learnt this. And here's the reality. I passed $800,000 in funding, withdrew over $40,000 in payouts, all whilst trading live, transparently, from my mum's garage with about £5,000 spent. And that's within 30 days. It's something I would have never believed was possible a few years ago. And when it was over, I didn't feel euphoric. I didn't feel like I'd made it. If anything, I felt grounded, because the numbers weren't the point. What mattered was this: I proved to myself that consistency wasn't some personality trait I lacked. It was a skill I hadn't respected enough. I proved that boring beats flashy, that rules beat confidence, that process beats motivation. There's this idea online that successful traders have to live in penthouses and trade from wherever they want in the world, but the truth is far less exciting. Most progress happens quietly, in uncomfortable environments where no one's impressed, sometimes in a dirty garage. I'm not telling this story to flex numbers. There are traders who pass more funding in a month than I have in a year, and that's humbling. But if you let that sink in, it should also be motivating, because it shows how much can change when you stop looking for shortcuts and start respecting the process. The biggest lesson from this challenge wasn't about prop firms, it was about honesty, with your data, with your discipline, but most importantly, with yourself. If you're watching this from your own version of the garage, feeling behind, feeling frustrated, just know this: you don't need to become someone else to succeed. You just need to execute better than yesterday, consistently and for long enough. I didn't pass $1 million in funding that first time, but I passed something more important: the belief that this life wasn't for me and that this is only the beginning. Because only a few months later, I was able to hit the road to $1 million. And now I plan to do this all over again in a completely new market. I'm going to continue to challenge myself as much as I can and challenge my own students within Woke FX. If you want to join the journey, click the link below and let's get started.